Welcome to Saving the Investor with certified financial planner, investment advisor, and insurance professional Alfie Townsend, president of Advantage Retirement Group.
Good morning, Southwest Florida. You are listening to Saving the Investor radio show, and do we have a show for you this morning? I am Alfie Townsend, Southwest Florida's certified financial planner professional, here with Pastor John Antonucci, and we're going to talk a lot about what happened this past week, the shutdown, and what it means to your money. So stay tuned. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, good morning, Southwest Florida. You're listening to Saving the Investor with certified financial planner professional Alfie Townsend, who has over 40 years experience as a CFP and as a fiduciary, which means his responsibilities to you, not to any products or services that he does offer here through the Advantage Retirement Group. And whether you're planning your legacy or preparing for the next phase of life here in Southwest Florida's paradise, Alfie is always here to guide you on every step of the way. So grab a pen and paper or just lean in and listen, because today's show is packed with a lot of information. But first, let's talk about Alfie's High Net Worth Toolkit. It's designed exclusively for affluent retirees and pre-retirees. And inside this toolkit, which we only have 9 copies available for our listeners today who request it, and inside this advanced guide that you're going to get is going to talk to you about tax reduction, estate planning, large IRA strategies, charitable giving, and so much more. Be one of the first 9 people to claim your complimentary toolkit right now by picking up your smart device and texting the word KIT, K-I-T, to 239-747-1077. That's KIT, K-I-T, to 239-747-1077. Pick up your toolkit today and navigate the fog of investing with Alfie with the information that he's going to give you. Text the word KIT to 239-747-1077. And Alfie, the Democrats are absolutely going crazy. The shutdown is going on. Trump is building a big ballroom that's making them absolutely out of their mind.
Yeah.
But in the midst of all of that, the market and earnings are up on a lot of levels, and things are looking good out there in America.
Wouldn't it be nice if if we all work together?
It'd be great.
It's not going to happen, though. It's just not going to happen. And now he's going to Asia, like you said, and they're going to be getting deals done. The last time he went overseas, he came back with $2 trillion of deals, and that's hopefully is going to happen coming back from this Asia trip. So we'll wait and see. But as of right now, we still have the government shutdown. The government shutdown. I just got back from California last week. I'm flying out again next week, and you start getting concerned, and they're warning us right now. The government's warning us that we're going to have delays, cancellations at airports.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
I look at these people at TSA. And you do not want to mess with, the ground air traffic controllers. You just don't want to mess with that. And when you're working for free, your attitude has to be different. Just put yourself in their shoes. They're working, and people are probably, oh yeah, they're going to get paid, but not everybody has money sitting in their savings account that can pay for months and months of not getting a paycheck.
True.
And then it does come back. It does. You do get it, but still, that's why they're calling in sick. They're saying, if I'm not going to get paid, I'm not going to work. And the attitude has to not be good. And you cannot have a bad attitude if you're air traffic controller, TSA. You can just let anything go by. It's just not good. So hopefully that's going to get resolved. And obviously you have President Trump that's in Asia. Nothing's going to happen while he's over there.
Right.
It's just so, we just have to wait and see what that does to the market. As of right now, you were saying the market is rocking and rolling. We had yesterday, the CPI numbers came in, and they were better than expected. They rose a little bit in September, 0.2%, but that was below what it was forecast. So that drove up markets yesterday. And year over year, core inflation now is at 3%, up from 2.9. And the Feds meet next week, and they are going to most likely, it's all priced in already in the market. They're going to be cutting rates again, probably another 0.25%. It looks like 2 more rate cuts are on the docket by the end of the year. So then now what's good about rate cuts is that businesses, especially small businesses, private businesses, they are going to be borrowing money. There's a lot of tax advantage to buy things right now to write off 100% depreciation, with opposed to taking it out over many years. So there's going to be some opportunities out there that really is going to enhance the market with lower interest rates. So that looks like that's happening. But year to date, S&P is doing good. It's 14.6%. Last year was double-digit returns. The last 1 year over the last year, it's at 16%. The NASDAQ year-to-date is right at 18%. Over a 1 year period is at 24.4. Dow Jones is lagging a little bit, but remember, Dow Jones is 30 stocks is 10%. 10%, but over the last year, it's still at 10%. So the markets are doing good, and a lot of people have not, are benefiting from the stock market, and they're feeling good. Even though inflation is still high, they are feeling like they have, money.
Yeah,
and that's why they're spending, John. They're spending still.
Definitely, and as they, these rate cuts are going to obviously move a lot of money out of the, CD rates, money markets, which are going to drop down to basically nothing. I think you're going to see more money come flooding into the market, don't you? I mean, that's where if you're making these kind of returns, Wall Street, is happy, and all the people working there have to be happy with those returns. Yeah,
Wall Street is very happy. They're going to get some nice bonuses at the end of the year. I just got back from a conference last week over in California, and it was for alternative investments, and there was some serious money managers talking to a large group of us, and they are very optimistic by the end of this quarter, the last quarter of the year, and then we're looking into next year. They see the market still rocking and rolling because of all the money that's coming in. It's sort of a perfect storm for our advantage. You got money coming in, trillions of dollars that President Trump is encouraging businesses to do business here, with or get a tariff.
Yeah, and he said this year he's going to do about $12 trillion by the end of the year, which is
unbelievable.
Number one, he said the closest is China had $3 trillion at one time, and we're going to do $12 trillion, which is incredible.
Incredible. And so we got that money that will be put to work on building factories, building their businesses here to eliminate the tariff. So that's great news. And then you have lower interest rates. If we keep having lower interest rates, that does nothing but really help the market again.
And he's meeting with Xi as well. So if China comes to an agreement with him on this trade deal, that's got to really rocket the market, wouldn't you think?
You got the trade deal there. You got some major sanctions that are coming in place for Russia with their oil, and so that's going to create us exporting oil. So we have just a lot of good things happening. I hope you're taking advantage of it, and like it or not, Trump is on a great path that might be one of the best presidents we've ever had.
No doubt about it. Well, you hear Alfie every week talking about clarity, confidence, and taking control of your future. And it all starts with one simple step. Take 15 minutes to talk with our team. No pressure, no pitch, just a real conversation to see if Alfie is a good fit for you and you're a good fit for them. Why don't you pick up your smart device right now? It's very easy. Just text the number 1515 to 239-747-1077. Again, text the number 1515 to 239-747-1077. What that's going to do, it's going to take you to a landing page, and you're going to be able to see a calendar and establish and book a 15-minute phone call with one of Alfie's trusted advisors. Maybe there's some questions you have on your mind. Maybe there's something keeping you up at night. Maybe you have a financial question that you need an answer to. Take advantage of the wealth of knowledge that Alfie has here at the Advantage Retirement Group, and he's put together an incredible team of people here that will help you navigate the fog of investing. And if it leads to an appointment and you want to come in and sit down and talk more, you can actually meet with Alfie in Fort Myers or Naples. But it all starts with just a conversation. Pick up your smart device right now. Text the number 1515 to 239-747-1077. And let's get that conversation on the calendar. Text the number 15 to 239-747-1077. Stay tuned. We're going to be right back right after this break, so don't go away. Welcome back to Saving the Investor with certified financial planner Alfie Townsend. You know, Alfie has 40 years of experience in this industry. He's also a fiduciary, which means his responsibility is to you, the individual investor, not to any products or services that he does offer here through the Advantage Retirement Group. And if you're ready to take a deeper dive into the retirement strategies that Alfie talks about every single week, we've got something special for you. Today, we're making 10 complimentary copies of Alfie's book, Making Waves in Retirement, available to our listeners. And listen, if you haven't picked up your copy yet, what are you waiting for? It's a great read. It's a roadmap to a fulfilling retirement, packed with valuable insights and real-life stories from investors that Alfie has helped over his 40-year career. That's why he named this broadcast Saving the Investor, to save you from the pitfalls, the schemes, the traps of Wall Street. But we only have 10 copies to give away today, and you need to get yours now. Simply text the word BOOK, B-O-O-K, to 239-747-1077 to claim yours. Text the word BOOK right now. Don't hesitate. Don't procrastinate. Pick up your smart device. Get your copy in your library. It's a wealth of knowledge that will help you navigate the fog of investing. Text the word BOOK to 239-747-1077. And Alfie, as you said, rate cuts are coming, possibly 3/4 of a basis point by the end of the year. Hopefully he's going to do more than that. What is that really going to do for investors?
Well, what that does for investors, if you think about it, if you're a business owner and you're dependent on borrowing money to keep your business going, when you have lower rates, that's just more profitability in your pocket, but that's more you can borrow to get your company up and running. So that's definitely going to help businesses. So let's talk a little bit about, even though we still have sticky inflation, it's higher than the Feds wanted, that 2%. 2% is a pretty...
I think it was like 2.8 yesterday or something. Somewhere
yeah,
around.
It's still right around that. It went up from 2.9 to 3. So it's not bad, but it's not where... But remember what it was. It was, what, 9? 8 or 9%. Just, like a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Under
and
Biden's
a couple years
presidency.
ago. Oh, yeah. It was horrendous. So... And, eggs were at $6, maybe even higher than that, $6-7 a dozen. Now it's like $2.
Yeah.
So things are, it's not, and gas is going down.
Yeah, under $3.
Even though Russia is going to have a big, they're going to have big tariffs, and anybody that buys Russian, fuel is going to be, oil is going to be, hit pretty hard too. So this is really going to put a clamp on Russia. So hopefully this is going to make them come to the table and say, okay, let's make a deal here.
Yeah, it's time.
It's time. I mean, it's, Gaza is, that was one beautiful thing. Hopefully that's going to hold. And Ukraine and Russia, if we can get that, he can get that. I mean, look, when Trump first got in office, they thought he was going to be more of a war starter.
Right.
And who would think that he's complete opposite? He wants peace, but he has peace through strength. He's a lot like Reagan.
Yeah, even on steroids, because he's dropping missiles on boats and different things.
Yeah.
So he's got the world's attention.
Remember when Reagan first got in office, there was a MiG, that shot at us, and we shot it down.
Right.
And they said, "You shoot at us, we're going to shoot back."
Right.
And that was right then and there, where he is totally different than Obama. Obama always had that red line, and it kept going further back, further back. They never respected Obama, and Biden. Forget about it. He was never even really. They took advantage of him because they knew they could, because it wasn't him running anything.
Right.
So they have, we have strong leadership right now, and not just with President Trump, but with his cabinet. They're all unified, and I just think it's an unbelievable cabinet that we have right now. It really is the golden years. Now, is there things wrong? Yes, there's things wrong, but this is 4 years. He has to clean up a mess.
Turn the ship around.
And when you have 11 million people that come over in 4 years that they have to find, this is and the Democrats are not making it easy for us to straighten this out with the immigration, with ICE, and going in there finding the people. I mean, you would think it's their family they're hiding.
Yeah, well, this is their last stand. I mean, that's why they're not giving in to the, the continuing clean resolution, because they want to get these things for illegal immigrants, and Trump's not going to have it anymore. So.
Yeah. Now, what happens? We're going to have lower interest rates now. If we're having a rate cut next week and possible 2 more rate cuts by the end of the year, that's going to be good for people. That's going to drive the home market sales up again. Now,
refis probably.
Yeah, the refis are going to be going up. People will start buying homes again, but that also drives probably the price of a home up too, because remember, as interest rates went up, they had to lower the price of the home to make it affordable.
Right.
But now it's going to flip flop as interest rates come down. Probably home price is going to go up. So if you're a homeowner, you're going to probably like that. The value of your home will be increased, so that's a good thing. But if you're looking for a refi, if you're looking for a new home, you still can negotiate because there's plenty of homes on the market, but you're going to get a better rate. So that's gonna be good. But what it hurts though is, and most people that are retired or soon to be retired, they're looking for income. So if the rates are lower, then their income is going to be lower. But we have some strategies that really it doesn't pertain to what the interest rates are, but our rates are typically in that 7.5%, 8% to as high as 15%. And 15% would be what we call accredited investor. That means you have to have a certain income or a certain net worth. But if you fall into that category, then what that does for you is we're able to give you some serious income and I'm doing it myself, and many of our clients are doing it, where you're able to get that 15% income, and it's a 2-year strategy. That means after 2 years we have to renew it, see what the rates are. But again, it doesn't matter what interest rates are. It matters of different things. And so if you are looking for additional income, you're looking for ways to increase your income and still have excess money to invest, this is the way to do it, because we're going to talk about this 4% rule on the next break. But this 4% rule doesn't cut it. That's where you take out 4% out of your portfolio each and every year. And when you're doing that, you need a lot of money. If you had $3 million and you need $120,000 a year income, that's only you need $3 million to get $120,000 income, where we can give you a $150,000 income with just $1 million, and that leaves $2 million to invest if you had a $3 million portfolio. What a difference between a 4 and a double or triple your rate of return for income planning. And I say this, John, all the time. Income planning is probably one of the harder things to do when it comes to retirement, and most advisors are not good income planners. What they do is they tell you, hey, we can grow your money, or they sell you an annuity or something like that. It's not going to give you the income that you need. And really, we still have inflation, like we talked about. Inflation is sticky, so you have to still grow your money. But if you can grow your money and because you have less money that you need for the income needs that you have because the interests are so high, then it's a win-win situation. So in your case, if you're looking for more income and you're wanting to fight inflation, grow your money in portfolios that are managed by portfolio managers that you would not really have access to, because this is institutional investing versus retail, give us a call and let us put an income plan and a strategy together for you and just compare what you have to what we're doing. And I think you're going to have a smile on your face.
Yeah, Alfie has many different strategies here as a certified financial planner professional. As a fiduciary, he's going to put you in things that are beneficial for you, not to any products or services that would benefit the Advantage Retirement Group. So you want to sit down with him in Fort Myers or Naples. He's put together what's called a retirement simulator process. It's a deep dive into your current portfolio to see what's really going on. And he's going to take you back 5 years, put your portfolio back 5 years next to his, and you're going to see on a big computer screen on a board on the wall exactly how his would have performed compared to yours. He's also going to take a deep dive into your current, income plan and strategy to see that you're diversified correctly, that you're, allocated properly, not taking undue risk for the amount of return that you're getting. He's also going to put your risk tolerance through a process to make sure that you're in the right mix of asset classes that are comfortable with your retirement plan and scheme. And he's going to do this all in his beautiful office in Fort Myers or Naples. Listen, you owe it to yourself to sit down with Southwest Florida's premier financial planner professional, Alfie Townsend. Pick up your smart device right now. He can only handle 7 people this week. Text the word VISIT, VISIT, to 239-747-1077. Again, text the word VISIT to 239-747-1077 and let Alfie show you how to create an income plan and a strategy that will get you to and through retirement. Stay tuned. We're going to be right back right after this break, so don't go away.
Good morning, Southwest Florida. You're listening to Saving the Investor radio show. I am Alfie Townsend, Southwest Florida certified financial planner professional, here with Pastor John Antonucci, and we have a great show for you this morning. We're going to talk the power of income planning and the new rules of retirement. And there's a lot of new rules of retirement that you need to know about, so we're going to talk to you about that this morning. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, good morning, Southwest Florida. You want to know the rules of engagement when it comes to investing, because Alfie is going to put together a plan and a strategy that's going to help get you to and through retirement. Listen, if you're soon to be retired or maybe many years from retirement or even currently retired, you owe it to yourself to connect with Alfie Townsend so that you can plan a legacy and prepare for your next phase of life here in Southwest Florida's beautiful paradise. But listen, you want to have access to Alfie's toolkit that he's going to make available. It's a high net worth toolkit designed exclusively for affluent retirees like yourself and pre-retirees. But listen, there's only 9 copies available to pick up for our listeners today. You need to request it right now, because inside this incredible power-packed wealth of information from Alfie, it's going to talk to you about guides on tax reduction, lowering your taxes, estate planning, large IRA strategies, charitable giving, and so much more. Be one of the first 9 people right now to claim your complimentary toolkit by picking up your smart device and texting the word KIT, K-I-T, to 239-747-1077. Again, you want to text the word KIT to 239-747-1077. And as we talk about the power of income planning and the new rules of retirement, it's really not saying enough about what Alfie has put together, creating reliable income that lasts. Alfie, you build those plans every single day. People come into your office all during the week, throughout the week. What are you seeing in people's retirement plan that you really need to make a shift and a change in order for them to have the power to plan correctly?
Well, unfortunate, a lot of the people that come in, they are using the old rule of thumb, which is, feeling good about taking 4% of a portfolio.
Yeah.
And, if you think about it, inflation has been very high. And that 4% rule, when that came in play, that's when interest rates were at like 8, 9, 10%. So 4% of a portfolio is not a big deal, where you just take out 4%. But remember, if the market goes down, you're still taking out 4%. If you're taking out 4%, then your income goes down. If you still need that same income that you had, then you're going to have to start getting into your principal. So, I don't like that 4% rule. What we like to do is we have to, you have to be growing your money, or inflation is going to just erode your principal. And you can't, and your buying power, that's what it does. It just takes away from it. So you have to, if you think about how much it costs to travel these days.
A lot, yeah.
A lot of money. How about going to a restaurant? How about going to the grocery store? You have things that are going higher than they've really ever been, and there's really no stopping in sight of things going up, prices going up, and it's like the government. They're fighting right now. They always fight with
Never ends.
When you are offered something and it's only for a temporary time with the government, it could be the healthcare subsidies or whatever it is. But when you're offered something and it's meant to be only temporary, it never, when it comes time to come take it away from them because it was only for a temporary time, they act like, no, you can't take it away. You offered it to me, and then that's where the fight is, and they never take it away. And that's why we have 38 trillion plus of a deficit, because they never take things away that were supposed to be temporary, and it just compounds effect. And the same thing with inflation. It is not, it might be temporary, but it's going to be seems like it's been a long temporary time. So what you have to do with income is you have to make sure that you are taking out more than your income of inflation. So if inflation's at 5%, you have to be able to make more than 5% on your account. So this is all stuff that we have to really look at. And so what we do here at the Advantage Retirement Group, what we want to do is put together some income plans using some alternative investments, meaning that we're not going to use take 4% out of your portfolio and keep our fingers crossed. What we're going to do is we're going to set up an income plan for you that will be based on, usually these products are based on 8% as high as 15%. Now, when you say 15%, Alfie, you are crazy. Well, I can tell you, I have what I'm talking to you about right here, and it's what's nice about it is consistent. The income is consistent. Now, the income on the 8% is going to be the same each and every month for a matter of it's a 21-month really deal, but it gets called after 1 year. Okay, because we'll put in there, you cannot call it back. The financial institution, the bank, cannot call this back until at least 1 year. But after 1 year, they call them back. And then that one is dependent on interest rates, but you are locked in. And right now, they're typically between that 7.5% to 8.5%. So that's pretty good rate considering. But we have another one that is based on 15%. John's all smiles in here at 15%. So at 15%, you must be thinking, well, this has to be very risky. Okay, so we have this program that we use that rates individual stocks, it rates portfolios, bonds, money market accounts. So the lower the number, the better. So with this type of program and the way that it's protected, it is considered a risk of about a 39. So what a 39 means is a high-end conservative to a low-end moderate risk. Aggressive, giving an example, would be like a 79, over 79 to 95. So this would be like a 39. So you're not taking a lot of risk with this, and it's a two-year deal. Now, the 15% is constant, but what happens is the account can go up and down a little bit, so you can make a little bit more of what you put in or a little bit less than what you put in, but it's always going to be that 15%. So the good thing about it is they put what we call a protected put on this money that you put in. So at the end of the 2 years, as long as the S&P is being tracked by these 100 stocks, which are in the S&P, then your money is secure. Okay, that's what you want to. So your money has a protected put on there, and you have income of generating at 15%. So just think about this. If you needed, if you're sitting there with $1 million and you said, I wouldn't mind to put $400,000 in something like this to get $60,000 income. Okay, you have $60,000 income, and now you have $600,000 that we can invest to grow your money. So you have a $60,000 income with just $400,000 and $600 invested in equity. You are looking pretty now because your $600 is in the market and your $400 is generating right at $60,000 a year income. And if you had the old rule of thumb, we'll go back to that. The old rule of thumb is 4%. You would have to have that whole $1 million just to get $40,000. Right. We're talking only using $400,000 to get $60,000, 50% more income, plus having $600 invested in there. And you're probably saying, well, how can you do that? And I don't hear that from my advisor. Well, the thing about it is a lot of times these advisors don't know, they just stick with what they knew years and years ago. Like I said with my cousin Steve, we are always looking and dealing with the really the best money managers and the best people in the business to give our clients the best income. So we are always out there in the forefront so we don't get stagnant with our clients. I never want to get stagnant with our clients because we want to always be ahead. And the best thing to do is just say, you know what, Alfie, that sounds intriguing, but I'd like to learn more about it. Well, John, what we'll do is we do a 15-minute phone call. Just give us a call. We'll talk to you a little bit about it, see if this is something that could be used as a strategy for you, or if we have to use a different strategy. But we can find that out with just a 15-minute phone call. So John will let you know how you can set up an appointment just for a 15-minute phone call, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, you just heard what an advantage it is to deal with the Advantage Retirement Group and Alfie Townsend, because he has products that are proprietary that you really can't get anywhere else. And if you just listen to that, the whole sharing of what he just shared about that investment strategy that can put more money in your pocket each and every year while allowing a lot of your money that's still invested in the market to stay there without pulling that out, it's really an advantage for you to deal with somebody who has 40 years experience as a certified financial planner professional. And Alfie has built his firm on relationships, not transactions. That's why he always likes to start with a simple 15-minute call. It's a chance to connect, ask some questions, see if there's a spark before you take the next step together with Alfie. So let's start the conversation. Listen, all you have to do is text the number 15 to 15 to 239-747-1077. Again, text the number 15 to 239-747-1077. It's going to take you to a landing page, a calendar, and you're going to book an appointment to talk to one of Alfie's trusted advisors here that will answer some questions maybe that's keeping you up at night. If you want to learn about this strategy that he just shared about, text the number 15 right now. Don't hesitate. Pick up your smart device and text 15 to 239-747-1077. That's the number 15 to 239-747-1077. Stay tuned. We're going to be right back right after this break, so don't go away. Welcome back to Saving the Investor with certified financial planner professional Alfie Townsend. Listen, if you're ready to take a deeper dive into the retirement strategies Alfie talks about each and every week, Alfie has something special for you. Today he's making 10 complimentary copies of his book, Making Waves in Retirement, available to you, our listeners. And listen, if you haven't picked up your copy yet, what are you waiting for? It'll go in your library. It'll be a wealth of information and knowledge to help you navigate the fog of investing. And it's your roadmap to a fulfilling retirement, packed with valuable insights and real-life stories from investors that Alfie has helped over his 40-year career as a certified financial planner professional. But listen, we only have 10 copies to offer today, so you need to act right now. Pick up your smart device and text the word book, B-O-O-K, to 239-747-1077. Again, text the word book to 239-747-1077. And Alfie, you know, when things get uncertain, people tend to move. You know, you always try and take away the emotion out of investing because people panic and move into cash. But that can be risky. You have a way to offset, you know, a lot of things that goes on inside of a portfolio. People would just stay true to their course, don't you?
I love that. we have a segment on our TV show, and I'm usually in a sport jacket and everything. And I said, you know what, I'm going to get in my orange pants, my fuchsia. Well, they're a bright orange pants, and I said I'm going to wear my golf pants and my golf shirt for this segment because I'm going to talk about taking the emotion out of investing. And so, what you have to do to take the emotion out of investing, you have to have hobbies. You got to have hobbies. You got to be able to, if it's playing golf, I love playing golf. In my golf course, I get to walk. And when you're walking, that eases your mind because it is hard, even, someone that manages hundreds of millions of dollars and it's other people's money.
Right.
Okay. I don't like to see that market go down. Okay. So I know what I have to say to my clients to say, hey, you know what? It comes back, and you don't want to be the one to take your money out and put it on the sideline and wait to get back in because you got to be right twice, when to get out, when to get back in. So taking the emotion out of investing is probably one of the hardest things to do, but it's the most important thing to do. So so one of the best ways to do it is just give it to a professional. And at that point, what we do is we will coach you into, what you should be doing, what you shouldn't be, what not to do, what to do. And one of the things that we tell our clients is, if you love golf, go play golf when times are hard. Okay. If you love traveling, that's the best time to travel. Get on a plane, go somewhere and have a great trip and put it behind you because by the time you come back, most likely what you lost is coming back up anyway.
Right.
And
We've seen it so many times.
Yeah. And, if it's fishing, if it's taking walks and just if you have a plan, when you have a plan in place, and that's why we talk about income planning is so important. If your income plan is going to be coming in regardless of what the market's doing, you have this income coming in and your money is going to be just fine. It's going up, it's going down, but down is not bad because usually when it goes down, it has a nice rebound going up because people will start getting back in the market. Big investors will start getting back in the market, when they're going to put more money. They're not staying out of the market. They're adding more money to the portfolios to bring it up. So, but one of the things that we do with a volatile market is what we do is called tax loss harvesting. So if you are a new client and you come in and you said, you know what, I have this lump sum of money and I like to put in the S&P 500. So putting it with us, besides, what do we do versus, you're doing it yourself or having another investor do it. What we do is we have what we call a tax loss harvesting bucket. So let's say we want the S&P. What we're going to do is our managers, because it takes a lot of time, so we hire this out to professionals. What they do is they will buy 70 stocks of the S&P 500. And what they're going to do is they're going to look for opportunities. So when that market goes down, what they're going to do is they're going to look for losses inside those 70 stocks. So let's just say Exxon, for example, you own Exxon, and it had a bad earnings and and Exxon went down quite a bit. So what they'll do is they will sell Exxon, but they want to keep you invested, so they cannot buy Exxon back for 30 days. So instead of not being invested for 30 days, they might have a replacement of Exxon, of let's say Chevron.
Right.
Okay, they'll buy Chevron. So they're going to be doing this throughout the year. Now, most people you hear are tax loss harvesting, meaning they'll sell a couple stocks at the end of the year. No, this is done throughout the month. Like every 2 to 3 weeks, they're looking for opportunities. So what it does is it will, let's just say your $500,000 grows to $1 million. Okay. So if you had two accounts, one with our strategy, tax loss harvesting, and one just buying the S&P, that $500,000 will both equal, let's say, $1 million because they are moving almost identical. So you still have your $1 million, but the advantage, this is where you got to say, now this makes sense. The advantage is that ours, since we're working your account looking for opportunities, you might have $250,000 of carryover losses that we could offset at any time we want. So if you wanted to sell $100,000 worth of stock, and out of that 100,000, 50 of it was capital gain, we can take 50 of that 250, and you have zero taxes on your account.
Beautiful thing.
Beautiful thing. And what it does, it generates an extra about a 1% gain on your account each and every year by having a strategy like this. So if you want to know more about some tax loss harvesting and what we do, or let's say you own a lot of Apple stock, for example, and you have a lot of Apple and has a lot of gains in it, and let's say you want to sell, half of your holdings to be more diversified into a NASDAQ or the S&P portfolio, we can offset it with these losses that we have. And the only reason you have losses is because we were taking advantage of down markets and down days with certain stock. So if you haven't heard anything this morning, take advantage of that.
Yeah, that's a great point, and another opportunity for you to maximize your retirement strategies by dealing with Alfie Townsend in the Advantage Retirement Group. Listen, if you've been thinking it's time to get a clearer picture of where you stand financially, why don't we just start with a simple 15-minute phone call? It's quick, it's personal, and it's designed to help you see if we're the right fit for each other before you make any big decisions. Listen, to get started, all you have to do is text the number 1515 to 239-747-1077. Maybe you have a question, maybe you have something that's keeping you up at night and you want to get an answer to that. Why don't you talk with one of Alfie's trusted advisors here at the Advantage Retirement Group? All you have to do to get started is text the number 1515 to 239-747-1077. It'll take you to a landing page where you can book an appointment on a calendar to speak to someone for 15 minutes. Do it right now before we go off the air. Text the number 1515 to 239-747-1077.
Thank you, John. And, this has been a great show. I really like to talk about some of the different strategies that we do here at the Advanced Retirement Group. So we talked about income planning, how we can create income 2 to 3 times what you're currently getting, and also have excess money to invest to fight inflation. So just think about this. The income that you're getting, if you can get 2 to 3 times that income, and with less money, that gives us more money to invest for you. That's why I say take advantage of that. Then we talked about the tax loss harvesting, where we can literally create losses inside your portfolio with companies that are going down. That's how you do tax loss harvesting, is you do it throughout the year, not just at the end of the year. And these are all strategies that we do here at the Advanced Retirement Group to take advantage of what's, of really the tax laws the way they are and the opportunities that are out there. I don't know if you've ever seen our show, Saving the Investor. It's a great TV show, and it's on every Sunday, I should say, at 11 o'clock, 11 to 11:30, right after Meet the Press on NBC. So check out our show, 11 to 11:30. And then right here, of course, on 92.5. We've been on 92.5 for well over 10 years now. And we just love this station and love Jake, the millennial that helps produce this show. So I hope everybody has a fantastic weekend. Until next week, be blessed.